What's up, guys? Back with another weekly analysis video again. Um, Last week was really crazy. I think it was a very good week for me. I didn't expect a lot of like setups to actually play out the way that they did overall and ending the week, but we did actually manage to secure a couple of trades within the week as how things did move. So currently, as we're looking at it, we are seeing, just going to zoom out onto weekly. We are within this really crucial zone, support level zone, which is not too far away from this monthly trend line. As we can see, is that this W formation is actually in play. Well, for me, it actually looks like a W formation. I'll just map it out here. So likely chances I guess you can get a retest and then neck here and push to this level that I do expect. So we're just going to zoom in onto the daily. So as you guys can see, on a small time frame on the daily, we are seeing that there's kind of like an M formation pattern that's forming. So let's have to kind of just wait and see on how this plays about, because my expectations was that price was going to initially shoot up to 101.057, but we didn't reach that level as is. Still my potential zone in the dollar index reaching. So we'll have to see just how things play about. But I am thinking that for this coming week, we could possibly come back straight down to 98.507. So yeah, I think looking at it on the 4 hour, you guys can see as is we've already shattered this trend line overall. And we are literally plummeting straight down. We've broken this level, this crucial level right here, as you can see. A lot of resistance support. I'm just gonna zoom out resistances. We can also maybe include this as resistance. It just broke up and then just dropped straight down. So there's a lot of demand around this zone here. So we've officially broken this level right here. I think for me, in confirmation, I will be waiting for this daily candlestick to actually close below this level, but I think initially we are going to drop straight down to 298.507. It's looking very much so promising, and from my point of view. So now let's jump to US30. I really had a really great week with US30. US30 was giving me such clean opportunities. I remember last week when I did analyze with you guys, I did mention that this zone was going to be a very crucial zone that we should just hold on and waiting on. And we saw price shoot up. This was my next zone in seeing price. When you just retest and reject this zone and then come straight down to the downside. But we have now invalidated this trend line. So this trend line is no more. So now as we're looking at it, we are officially on a bullish trend from what I'm seeing. I did not take this trade though, this one that you're seeing right here. I actually did want to actually take this trade, but it just didn't play out enough for me to actually come back and retest this area right here. But kind of paper traded it because I think my indicators were actually giving me confirmation in the sense of this shooting straight to the upside, and we did exactly that. We reached the level completely. So I think the only two trades I had to take were these two here. So this eventually ended up in take profit, and this one just slightly, I think, was more of like a 1-to-1 because I'm placed in my stop loss just slightly a little bit above this level right here. So I probably bagged in like maybe like 100 points around there. And yeah, I think last week was a really, really good week for me. I think I was just heavily focused on US30. The rest of the ones were not moving as volatile as expected them to be. For yes, I think for for Nasdaq eventually. Now let's just zoom out in the bigger time frame. I'm just going to show you on the daily. So if you see on the daily, there's this little channel that I actually mapped out here, and we saw price actually break above this resistance level. Price broke up. Now we're seeing kind of this like retest within this demand zone right here. As you can see, resistance, there's heavy rejections around this support. There's resistance that's like hovering around here, resistance. So you guys kind of get the point. So as this, I am in this trade currently now. So I'm expecting kind of like a bullish move, pushing up to maybe 25,590. So that is my next target for the week. So I'm expecting really like decent push on Nasdaq. But I think overall, Nasdaq's also on a bullish run. Will be buying Nasdaq as is. If not, maybe we could drop length slightly below and retesting this zone right here as is, but we'll have to just wait and see on how things play. But I think overall, my bias is just bullish on this because it is spiking up. So let's look at another one, gold. So gold finally came out of this range zone that I was actually telling you guys. Remember when I zoomed out onto a weekly time frame, I told you guys that like this trend line right here. I think I maybe just need to clean out these lines because you can't be able to see the candlesticks properly. But this trend line right here, let me just zoom in into the daily so you guys can see properly. So this trend line right here had consistently been rejected. You can see the amount of wicks that was just like ranging within the zone, and then gold just completely spiked up. There was also a little bit of a triangular pattern that I actually kind of saw play out here. I did not trade gold, as you guys do know. I am not a heavy fan of gold, but I'm actually glad that gold really respected a lot of the levels that I actually mapped out within the space right here, and continue to actually push to the upside. So if we're just going to take out a pathway here, just broke above, came back, retested, now we're literally here. So yeah, I'm just glad that we are seeing really proper moves in terms of price action with gold finally now. We've broken out of this range zone. So now it's kind of just a little bit more free enough to actually find opportunities as is. But now looking at it, so I think it's just really evident in showing that we are going to be pushing to this high, which is 4,357. So be on the lookout in catching any opportunities to the upside, because this candlestick is just about to shoot through the moon. Sorry. What else are we looking at? Oh, Bitcoin. Yeah, I actually took one trade on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I think there was one trade that I took on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I took around here. So price ranging within the zone. And I figured this was a very crucial kind of like a resistance support level, which was just like hovering and bouncing through. I think when we finally reached approaching going into the New York session open, then we saw this like a crazy spike in this candlestick just like breaking above and hitting this level right here, which was 98.706. So now 98K and 706. So that was like this was like a really decent run. I saw just like this full on bullish candlestick just like pricing going up. So I don't know, I was not so confident with taking a sell on Bitcoin. I think also the reason being why is because when you zoom out onto a bigger time frame, on the weekly, but on the daily. So let me show you guys something. On the daily, this area right here, this area right here gave me a real strong confirmation in the sense that we were pushing to the upside. So that's why I kind of just zoomed out onto the daily and then saw how the candlesticks were really playing out and just everything really played out to the T. So I think it's very important that like you also analyze candlesticks that you do see. I did also place in a buy position around here, and this was on Friday. Yeah, this was on Friday going into Saturday, but I got stopped out because also as well too there's just weird there was a market shutdown on Friday. Um, a lot of things were happening on Friday. I think gold as well too experienced some heavy volatile moves on other certain brokers. So the shutdown also kind of just delayed a lot of like the movements that I was expecting to actually play out as is. But I think nonetheless, it was overall a good week. Got really decent trades in. I mean, three trades were bagged in, one loss. So yeah, as we're seeing it currently now, we did heavily respect this support trend line, retested, and then we continuously just like dropped like crazy. And this was all within the Asian session, going into the market open. You can actually see there was a little bit of a head and shoulders formation pattern here that I did see. So left head, right shoulder, came retested that. I was honestly confident taking this trade, as I said, because the overall five touch rule didn't play out the way that I needed it to play out for me to be confident enough in taking this trade. But I think overall, yeah, things played out the way that it did. So I think with Bitcoin, we're going to be seeing a crazy drop because if this candlestick closes bearish, right here, we could be dropping lower past 780K. If things do get to that point, we could drop much lower going past 80K. So, but we'll just have to see how things play out. Overall, I think I am just like really enjoying the volatile moves within the markets currently now, as we are moving into the festive season. So now let us jump into, I think, the fundamental aspect of things. So for this week, manufacturing PMI, 40, we are looking at a forecast of 49.0. So could see a little bit of strength within the dollar, but I don't think it's going to move as much. But Tuesday, there's no high impact news. Wednesday, there is ADP that is coming out as well too. Services PMI, that's also coming out too. Both news announcements looking like they are going to be coming out negative for the USD. And then Thursday, we're kind of seeing also a negative outcome with that. And Friday, we are going to be seeing quite a lot with the core PCE price index as well too, and the consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. So yeah, it's going to be quite a bit of a volatile week moving into the first week of December. But yeah, I'm hoping to actually catch like really decent moves on the indices that I did explain previously before. But yeah, I think that's where I sign off. Hopefully this video was helpful to anyone watching. Please like, share, and also check out what's in the description below based on the Instagram and TikTok accounts, and you can be able to follow and get a bit of financial just like knowledge on what I'm actually seeing within the markets and what I've been seeing maybe last week. I will be actually releasing a post based on the market shutdown that happened on Friday, just to give a little bit of a summary. So yeah, follow through on Instagram because that's where my majority of the updates are posted on. And I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.